If you make a plan to watch today's show, you'll score big. Stay tuned. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Carolina Trust Federal Credit Union on 21st Avenue in Myrtle Beach. We're focused on counselors to America's small business. And we're visiting with one of the local counselors of SCORE, Bob Goroski. Good morning, Bob.
Yeah, nice to see you, Greg.
Thank you so much for coming in early on a Monday morning. Good way to kick off the week here.
Well, you invited me. Glad to be here.
We've been trying to get you back in. It was a couple of years ago when you were last with us in the studio there at the Herald,
Probably
the former
2
Air Force
years.
Base. Yeah. Not far from here. And of course, to get out and to think of all that's happening with SCORE right now, Bob. You guys are crazy. I mean, a lot going on.
Yeah, we're constantly improving, increasing. We have one of the big things we're doing in the last couple of years is our SCORE U. We're teaching courses on business in conjunction with Horry Georgetown Technical College. Mm-hmm. They're evening courses, typically 3 hours.
Right.
And we have them twice. We have 2 sessions, a spring and a fall session. And we have 6-week courses. 6 weeks, 1 night a week. And we have individual courses. Mm-hmm. Very inexpensive. We also have free workshops. We put one on last Monday, in fact, or last week, and then we got another one in April with the SBA.
You do this with the Small Business Association,
right?
Or administration, excuse me.
Right. SBA has a program on particular subjects, mm-hmm. And they asked us to set it up here, and we had a pretty good turnout for our March meeting. Probably 30 people.
Is that right? Great.
30 people came in, and it's a 2-hour session, and 10 or 11 of our counselors were there, so they got together with them afterwards. So. Pretty successful program.
That is tremendous. And of course, y'all are the office for SCORE is located very easy to find off of close to 10th Avenue near the City Hall.
10th Avenue North, right behind City Hall.
Great.
You can park in the Myrtle Beach City Hall parking lot, and we're in the building that we share with the Housing Authority.
Okay.
Our office hours are limited when we have personnel there.
Sure.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings, mm-hmm. But we use the office all day long for our counseling and for our meetings, and there's often people there, and that's where we make. Typically, when we talk to clients, it's 2-on-1 or 1-on-1,
right.
And we meet there in our little conference room.
Mm-hmm. And as counselors to America's small business, y'all are really doing much of that counseling right there.
Yes, we try to meet whatever the client wants. If the client has a business that's running and they want to go there, we can do that. Mm-hmm. If it's startup people and they just don't know what they're doing,
sure.
They come in our office because we have a lot of materials.
Right.
I wanted to talk about some of the brochures we have and the guidebooks.
Of course, sure.
Because they're free. Anybody can just come in and get them, and they are extremely valuable. They are as good as any of the guidebooks you can buy at Barnes & Nobles or
anywhere else. And you guys are all volunteers.
Bob. We're all volunteers. Nobody takes any payment of any kind. Otherwise, they're out. We have strict code of ethics. Everything is confidential. Nothing specifically about any client ever leaves our office.
That's tremendous.
We do send to national demographic information, like whether it's in manufacturing or service industry, or whether it's a veteran or male or female, mm-hmm. Things like that, and the number of people, but we don't send any specifics. Mm-hmm. So, people can talk to us. They don't have to give us their real name if they don't want. Mm-hmm. But it's all confidential. We're all experienced in business.
Right.
We're not necessarily retired. I happen to be, but we have several still working counselors.
Harold Swanner and others that are very active.
Harold Swanner is, in fact, he was
John
instrumental.
Monsignor, yeah. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Harold was instrumental in getting us going because he runs his business out of Horry Georgetown Technical College.
Interfacing with many of the technical colleges,
And
sure.
we were doing, from time to time, small workshops, and we're using Horry Tech. He says to us a couple of years ago, let's develop this into a regular program with a big catalog. If you look in the Horry Georgetown Technical Catalog, you'll see all the business courses, almost all of them, are run by SCORE.
Is that right?
We create the course, we deliver it, we have all the materials that we give out to people.
I think I knew that. That's the curriculum there for Horry Georgetown Technical.
Yeah, that's done by SCORE.
I did not. Is that common in other communities? The community colleges have their curriculum performed by SCORE, or a group of volunteers? I mean, it's wonderful.
Good question. I don't know.
Right.
But it's we have given in the past the same kind of courses at Coastal.
Sure.
And they worked with us just fine. Horry Tech is growing, and they want to do this, and they accommodate us. Like our SBA meeting for March was, we had a small room set aside. We got so many. We had over 40. Actually, we had 50 applicants. Only about 30 appeared. It's a free seminar, but they gave us a bigger room. They gave us a giant room. We had projectors. We had. They do our reproduction of materials.
That's tremendous.
So they're and no charge, 100% free.
And where does most of your funding come from, Bob?
Good question. Glad you asked. We get when we put on these courses, we charge a small fee.
Sure.
It's about $30 a session, of which a portion of that comes to us. Horry Georgetown gives that to us per student. We get about $1,500 a year from national. The SBA overall has about $4.5 million that they distribute to the nearly 400 chapters in the U.S.
$4.5 million, right?
Yeah. So our share, and we have paid office. The 12 or so employees in national up in D.C., they are paid normal salaries, and so the money goes to that, plus their website, which is very extensive website, expensive one.
SCORE.org.
And then the rest of it is distributed out. And there's some big chapters. San Diego, for example, I think has over 200 volunteers.
Is that 200 counselors?
Yes,
sure.
And we have 20. And
wow.
Different cities, New York, Chicago, have bigger ones and so on. So they get bigger amount of money.
Portions of that.
So roughly 1,500 from national. And then we get corporate donations. Local businesses give us donations, and we're running about a $10,000 a year budget right now. So we really do need more donations. We get anonymous donations from time to time.
Great.
Big companies like the Sun News helps us.
We like the Sun News.
Jackson,
I like them. That's right. Yeah, we like the. No, forgive me. Yeah.
The Herald supports us.
The Herald, thank you.
They do.
No, we love this. Absolutely.
Yeah, the Herald gives us a lot of space for our columns.
I've seen that in the Myrtle Beach Area Business Journal that came out last Thursday.
Yeah, every month the Business Journal gives us a space that we have some sort of a advice column.
I've seen that. I saw this month's on the websites and really making sure they can help a business out.
Right. So that's where our money comes from. And sometimes we run a little short, but right now, because our Score U is doing well.
Good.
We're expecting to get about $3,000 this year.
Got a little surplus there. That's great.
No, that won't be surplus.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That'll cover some.
Counselors to America's small business, you sure want to keep it solid and whole and strong financially as much as possible. That's why it's great to get you out. If a viewer needed to get off to work now or to get family off to school, what's the best phone number, even the local chapter website for someone to visit?
Well, the phone number is 918-1079.
Right.
The website, where you can get all the links to everything, is mbscore.org.
Okay, mbscore.org. Very
simple.
short. Sweet.
And Also, if anyone is interested in business advice, the SBA site, which is sba.gov,
Right.
is excellent.
Yeah.
And the national score site, score.org.
Very easy. And there's links to both of those from mbscore.org, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
You can get all that stuff. If you're interested, on our website, you have a little link there that says Meet the Counselors. You can see pictures of us.
Oh, good. Even better.
Some of us. Not all of us have our pictures in there, but you'll see 15 or 20 of us, what we look like. We're not all old guys like me. There are a few old guys, admittedly, but we have some young people, and we have women, and people in business. So it's a good cross-section.
And you all can really make a difference for small business entrepreneurs. I mean, you feel like you're seeing...
I think we could help.
Yeah.
We can always help. We can't hurt, because people can listen to us and ignore us.
Sure.
Or they can listen to us and maybe get ideas.
Yeah.
All of us are not necessarily academia. We are hands-on people in business. My own business, for example,
I wanted to ask you about that.
It was started from scratch. I met one other guy, and we were working evenings for about a year and a half, Saturdays, and we tried to develop a little electronic manufacturing company. So we started from scratch, and we finally got an order, and then another one, and then started getting employees, and it just grew. So my experience is basically engineering and design, but also everything to do with small business.
Yes.
I did the packing, I did the testing, I did marketing, I did wash the windows.
Yeah, back then, Bob. Was there, I guess SCORE was around, but was there a group that you turned to for advice, or was it just hard knocks?
I learned by experience, but at one time I got to about 50 employees, and I had always worked one-on-one. It was 2 people, 4 people, 8 people. Right. And all of a sudden, now I have another level of management. Right. And I got confused. I was botching things up.
I don't believe it.
And I didn't know what to do. And then for some reason, I found out that there's a SCORE chapter in town. And it was walking distance from my office.
No.
6-8 blocks. So one afternoon, I said, I'm just going out. Didn't tell anybody where I'm going.
Right,
I was embarrassed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in business, So I show up, and there's these 2 old guys, and they talked to me for about an hour. And they just clarified things and showed me how simple it was to make an organizational plan.
Right.
And everyone knows what their position is, top to bottom. And it made it all simple. Within a week, I came back and reorganized, and it worked.
That's fantastic. So you came into to the group there, the 50 folks who were used to Bob and his partner, or just Bob
I was
running everything by the seat of his pants.
I was total authority. There were nobody did anything except without asking.
Check with Bob. And so with that, you then came in and set up an org chart and had things...
Well, I assigned a responsibility to people.
That's great.
This is what you have to do.
Right.
And this is your authority. And everyone knew it. There was no secrets. All the way down, every employee knew who was doing what.
And that's the same kind of practical advice that you're giving to small business owners these days, Bob.
Pretty much, although in Myrtle Beach, as you know, there's not too many businesses with 50 employees.
Right, no.
So they're a rarity, but we get a few. And I've had similar problems or similar situations here. But the point is, I always remembered that. I never had to go back, but when I sold my business, I retired. There's a SCORE chapter in my town.
Right.
I went to see those guys, and they said, well, you're too young.